say I'm out of my mind, baby. Uncle used to grind crazy, turned down to a baby, yeah, yeah.
Tryna keep my bread up, tryna keep my head up without getting wet up. Niggas turn to hecklers, but to vendettas. I'm Conor McGregor. They ain't even catch the armbar, gun in the car like OnStar.
I've got a chance to say this yet, but the funny shit is like
Talk your talk.
I with the whole beef of
Lord Jamar. Yeah.
I never said I wasn't a guest.
Right.
Like, I'm absolutely a guest. Like, I never said I wasn't.
Right.
And that is important. All right, my bad. We are back, and this is part 2 of Eminem and Crooked Eyes, Crooks Corner, part 2 interview. Trying to get my lighting right. Hold on. Can I even change it? Yeah, I can. There we go. All right. Let's get this right. Let's see what we talking about. So far, if you haven't watched part 2, hold on, let me make sure this is right. Yeah, I know this is. I'm trying to fix that glare. There we go. If you haven't seen part 1, go watch that right now. It's before this, so.
Like how they was wearing the airbrush.
Get back
like,
to
like, like having that on the shirt is it's dope to me, but it's also like maybe if I'm doing a show and some of the younger fans don't know who this is, they'll go back and.
Okay, to catch you up, basically, Crooked Eye is asking him about his love of vintage hip hop shirts and why does he wear those. If you know, he wears a lot of those, and what's his affinity. And he's saying exactly why he does that, why he thinks it's important to do that, and I think it's a dope reason. So he's basically talking about educating the youth. Slime Shady EP out right now. Hard copies is out. Email me for signed copies.
You know, look at.
Go back and say, who is that on this shirt?
Yeah,
and
go
get
back
educated.
and
Get
be
this.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because Locking the Bags was fucking nice.
I'm raw and rare. I walk in the square of pure righteous. Man, and being that much of a part of the culture, history books are gonna definitely put you as one of the greatest of all time.
Now this part's important.
How do you feel about the concept of white rappers being a guest in the house of hip hop?
Well, I mean, that's the funny thing.
Now before he answers this, I did a whole video about this earlier, where I said that I basically, because I had seen this part, I basically kind of predicted what M was going to say here, but it wasn't really more me predicting because I had seen this part. This is the first part I saw the interview before I saw the rest of it. So I think it's super important that if you are a stan or somebody that's like doesn't understand the history of hip hop or don't understand the whole reason why people say somebody may be a guest in something, listen to him break it down.
I don't know if I've got a chance to say this yet, but the funny shit is like
Talk your talk.
I with the whole beef of
Lord Jamar. Yeah.
I never said I wasn't a guest.
Right.
Like, I'm absolutely a guest. Like, I never said I wasn't.
Right.
And that is important. I don't know why people were making such a big deal about it, but people like M understand why it is important, why it's historically important to point out who the creators of this art form is. Because so often in the history of music, it gets created by a group of people, then taken and remodeled to something else. And I think it's super dope that he said that, because there's a lot of people who for some reason didn't think this, or there's a lot of people who thought M wasn't going to think this. And that's why I always say, to me, some of the most diehard fans of him be the least like him. That's what I always, because I'd be like, I don't think y'all really listen to him with the way that he be talking, but that was dope of him to say. And that's why I don't understand people over here making whole songs about guest in hip hop. Wah, wah. It's like, bro, that's weird that you find that offensive, but we got to figure out why you do.
I never said I was king of anything.
Exactly.
Right? Like, I had a song called Kings Never Die, but it wasn't me saying That was one of the beats that Khalil sent me with the.
I would disagree with that. You could definitely still. It doesn't matter if you're a guest or not. You could still claim king. That's just hip hop. You know what I mean? So
Hook on it. That was the concept of the song.
I'm not mad at that.
I can't say I'm the king of hip hop.
Right.
I just say so. I threw Run DMC in there, Jam Master Jay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was trying to like, because I never want to be like, I don't want to be the king of hip hop. Who the fuck is the king of hip hop?
talk your talk.
Like, is there a king of hip hop? Like, I don't.
Bar him away, man.
Like,
I feel you on that.
people would say, just because you sell the most records doesn't mean you're the best.
Ah,
Because you can rap 40 million syllables doesn't mean you're the best.
nah, we need to hear this.
I care more about rhyming the syllables.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like I care more about the craft.
My biggest thing is I feel like people beef with this man for things that he never said. It's always, if you pay attention to people who have gripes with M, it's always about something that they got into an argument with somebody online that a fan said. It's never him, because I think a lot of the time people misrepresent him a lot.
In any of the other.
And that shows.
Talk your talk. We needed this one. Yeah.
Those who know, you know what I mean? If
I'm
you know,
editing the
you
first
know.
clip right now in real time.
I just don't. I don't get it sometimes. You know what I mean? I watch these rap media so-called critics and some music journalists and
Uh-oh.
so many of your bars and your messages.
Who you talking about?
Their heads and you know they like even with the content conversation. I mean, you've been having content since day one. You got songs to prove it.
Facts.
It's like sometimes I'm like, what is content? What are you talking about?
Facts.
What do you want me to talk
Facts.
about? Think about the first time you heard Rakim, right?
I've always hated. Hold on, I gotta pause that. I gotta talk on that. I've always hated that argument too. Because it's never been that he didn't have content. That's not what it was. The people who said that, I don't get it. It's just that his content be because to me his art albums are some of his most contentful albums, chocked full of content. But they're my least favorite M album. It's not about the content. Some of his best songs have no reason beyond me showing you how sharp my lyrical sword is. So those are some of my favorite. Like there's no his wake up show freestyle don't really have a point, but those be his best stuff.
And he's always
Shout out to
on the
Rakim the
list,
God.
but
Yeah.
He's also always on my list because to me greatness is not only how well you do something, but if you were the first to do it. Rakim was the first person
That's a bar.
that I heard that started using like inside rhyme schemes
Right.
and coming back at the end and hitting it. You know what I'm saying?
You teaching them
So,
too much, Chill.
He did something that
Don't know about inside rhyme schemes.
thought of yet.
Original.
Yeah, it was like, and he single-handedly pushed the genre forward to be more complex.
They don't know about Rob.
And then
Chill,
and
Chill.
birthed fucking Kane and G-Rap, right?
Right.
And man, like those two will always be on my list too because like Kane was doing confuse and lose, abuse and bruise the crews who choose to use my name wrong will pay dues. Nobody. Like that was word he said.
Get him,
right,
Kane.
and he just made a sentence with it. Like
And that made sense. You know what I'm saying?
every person who's a fan of hip hop might feel like hip hop is about something
else.
different.
Yup.
Right? It ain't about lyrics. It's about how good you flow in your cadence. Right?
Right.
Y'all picking up these gems he's dropping, right? Okay, just making sure.
Or
Just
it
making
ain't
sure.
like, but it's it's just about the beat is dope and just having a message over it. That could be what your opinion of what hip hop is about. My opinion is hip hop is about lyricism and the greats who we put up on the pedestal.
We needed this interview.
That's what
We
they
needed
were
this
about.
one, ladies
That
and
was
gentlemen.
The beauty of us being able to learn how to do it and learn from them, right?
Okay, yeah.
So, like,
Do you ever agree with any of the top 50 lists that circulate on the internet?
Uh-oh, I want to hear this. Hold on, where you place yourself,
I've
Marsh?
seen a couple of them where I feel like, okay, that's kind of accurate. I'll never want to come off as preachy or be like, you know, you don't understand what we do. We're so much smarter than you. No, it's not about that. But we do the craft and we do rap at a certain level where we know, like, game recognized game, right?
Right.
Like,
Facts.
you can appreciate Jordan because Jordan was like a spectacle to see, right? It was just like, holy shit.
Right.
But I don't even know how
Yeah.
much shit he was doing.
It's like mechanics. If I hire somebody to fix my car, I'm not gonna hire a painter. I'm gonna hire a mechanic. A mechanic knows what he's doing under the hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Rappers talk, lyricists talk metaphorical even when we don't have to. That's how I'll be talking for no reason. Sometimes just break out a metaphor. See, it's like a mechanic and a painter. But you get it better, don't you? It paints the narrative better, don't it? Don't sleep.
And I can't explain.
Don't sleep
what
on a
you
good
You
metaphor.
be like, yo, that's the best mechanic I've ever seen.
Right.
Like I saw what's it called? My expert opinion with Matt Hoffa, right?
Shout out to Math.
And it was an episode where they
Woo!
were talking about the verse
He just giving out all the shout outs this episode, this interview. I ain't mad at
that I
that.
did on the Fat Joe thing. And I was like, these are the guys who if I was coming up like as a rapper or just a fan of rap or whatever, I would want to hear from them because they do this too.
Right.
Man,
You know what
this
I'm
is
saying? So it's
dope.
like
This is dope.
game recognized game. Like I don't know if this guy is the best mechanic in the fucking world. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's not my thing. But someone who is a mechanic might be like, yo, this guy, he's the fucking GOAT.
Yeah, exactly.
Changing your muffler. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And then we come and argue with that guy.
yeah.
You know, he's not
Yeah.
a GOAT, and,
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not a
exactly,
fucking
yeah.
mechanic.
Yeah. But
Are y'all getting what they saying basically? They basically saying, not everybody is entitled to their opinion, right? But I would take a mechanic's opinion on another mechanic's work before somebody who's never looked inside a car. You feel me? And sometimes I think people consume things to a point where they think they understand how those things work. Like, no matter how many times you eat filet mignon, you don't know how to cook it just by eating it. But for some reason, people listen to music and consume it to a point where they think now they understand the creation of it. It's weird. That was a metaphor too. That's how we do it.
and again, it's like you don't want to sound too preachy and be like, we're so much.
Not saying you don't know if you don't rap, but I'm just saying.
It's not about that, but at some point it's just like I can't take your list seriously if they don't have you on it, they don't have Royce on it. I can't take it serious. I can't take it serious because it's
Those
like,
are real lyricists. That's what they do.
You don't really know what you're talking about. So I can't get mad at you. Right. I think that a lot of times when people make these lists, they're mistaking the greatest rappers for their favorite rappers.
Let's go.
These are my favorite rappers. These are my
Break it down to 'em.
favorites. Right? Jay, Nas, they're always going to be on that list, right?
Right. You always gonna be on it.
Unsung.
Most.
People, but
Dog,
Oops, my bad.
well, I mean, yeah.
you might not be where you deserve to be. You know
Well,
what I'm saying?
that's in my opinion. That's how I feel when people don't put you and Royce there because
The disrespect.
the longevity, how good you guys have consistently been to be able to keep it up to this level. You know what I'm saying? And like, we're not youngins in this game. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we put our time in, but still, even to this day, when I hear a new song by you or a new rhyme scheme, I feel like he's still figuring this out. Like, in other words, you're trying to figure out a way to make this verse better than anything you just did prior.
I feel like this interview does a lot more for people because it's just two rap nerds talking back and forth. I think this does a lot more for people who create music. And maybe that's just because I create music and I'm getting a lot from this. But this is fire. This is fire. That's the type of interviews we need, bro. Yeah.
Right?
Talk your talk, Marsh.
Fucking verse
Huh?
is like, that's how I feel when I listen to you. I'm like, oh, he's still fucking with different flow patterns.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
good
Like,
looking.
and cares about it, and the pockets, and like, I don't ever know where your rhyme's gonna fall at, and I don't know how many syllables you're gonna fucking hit. But that's the other thing is like when people are like, we don't care about the syllables and all that shit. Yo, you need to, because that's the craft of
Hip-hop.
doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, you don't need
MC
to.
it.
You don't,
That's MC, yeah.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Like how you know, whatever you feel, you know. But like, I think that people are just sometimes mistaking best MCs for their favorite rapper.
That's a bar. That's a bar. Wrap it around. Bring it back around. My bad. I gotta send a text off. Y'all just watch. I gotta send a text off.
Yeah.
And that shit is infuriating to me because I think that, again, we was talking about like Kim did something that never been done, and Kane did something, and G-Rap did something that never been done. Tretch did, to me, I think what happened with Tretch, and this is just in my circle of friends that we talk about shit, one of the common things said is, well, he did OPP and he did Hip Hop Array.
Right.
But he was still rhyming his ass off on those songs, right?
Right.
But he also did something to me, in my opinion, that, like, there was a time period probably between 91 and
Facts.
95 where damn near every rapper in the game was following him.
Right.
And trying to do what he was doing.
Absolutely.
Dressing like him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? The whole shit moving like him.
It's a little before my time. I was born in '91, so obviously I didn't come out the womb and just be like, yo, what's going on in the hip hop scene? You know, like but I still remember Hip Hop Array. Here we go now, holla if you. I don't know if I remember them when they were new, but I remember them in the '90s. So I don't know. They might have been some years old when I first heard them.
Getting on fucking songs and smoking everybody.
Man.
And it was like, yo, when I heard Yoke the Joker, my fucking heart sank. My heart sank, and I was like, I'm never gonna be this good.
Wow.
Don't do that to yourself. He said his heart sank.
I said this on the Ice-T documentary, but this is real shit. I didn't write for an entire summer. Proof was like, yo, man, he's good, but you gotta keep.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
and
right.
I was just like, but I'll never be that good. By the time it got to Wickedest Man Alive, I was like, I quit. I don't want to do this anymore.
You got a favorite Tretch verse?
I got a lot of favorite Tretch verses. My when I heard.
And hold on. Eminem just shouted out Tech 9. I don't know I think it was in the first part reaction. And I didn't even think about this until this part. If Eminem says he listens to Tech 9, then odds are he probably listened to Tech 9's new album, Enter Fear Level 2, which is only a couple songs long. So odds are he might have heard Funk, aka Leave It on the Flow Part 2, which is featuring me and Mercules, which means he might have heard me. You can always hope, yeah. This is the type, I don't know. This is the type of stuff that's motivating me for some reason. This is making me want to keep, like, yeah.
The Joker when he was like, oh, fuzzy, dirty, dizzy, duzzy, get the fixinies. Remember how blessed
Look at Crook.
He can't kill me. I step into your dreams, you feel me. Slicing your life away, just like my mic today.
What
I
else?
The psycho way. I'm ripping shit right away. Man, he was yo.
Tretch.
He delivered that with the passion like it's his verse.
In this genre that have not even caught up to that. All this time has passed, and those verses are so timeless to me.
Right.
Like, you got beef for what we do, talk to the bunny, sonny. He's the man, Bugs, the dog with the money. Funny that you should mention, as my family they're covered. What's up to my cousins and my sisters and my one birds of a feather, flop and fella be together.
Yeah.
No matter which and whatever, endeavor find who's better. You, me, he, she, them, him, those are others. These get you ducks with worm pluck, initiate the trouble. For those who disagree or maybe feel the need of fronting. Show me your whole entire crew, just using I'm a runner.
Let's go!
Yo, I was just like, God damn, no one.
Hip hop nerd-ish.
What he did was, he did wordplay, he did compound syllables, multi-syllable rhyming, and he did it in different styles.
Right.
He never had it. Go back and listen to that first album. He never did the same style twice. I loved his image. I loved what he was about. He looked cool. You know what I'm saying? And you believed him.
Right, he was believable.
He looked the part, he acted the part, he was the part, right? So that's why I think a lot of rappers just kind of started going, and I did, like with my writing and shit, by the time the second album came out, I sounded just like him. I sounded just like Tretch. I sounded like Coogee Rap. Like, there's so many.
It's dope that you can shout out and say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not too proud to shout out the people you came from. Yo, Stretch Tree. You know what I mean?
Rappers, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's what we doing with kids.
Yeah,
right?
we get influenced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Big fact.
What you think about Royce as a producer, man? Is that weird?
It's really fucking weird. It's weird. I told him, yo, years ago, when we first met, I was like, yo,
It's funny too because I guess I've never sat back and had my own take on Royce as a producer. So it's dope that M can give that take and then I can give my take too.
Like, you should, I said, because the way he was picking his beats and like his ear for him, I was like, yo, why don't you just make beats? Because when I first started making beats and learned how to do it, you can control what you make, right? So it's like,
everybody in the 313, throw your mother hands up.
From, like,
Yo,
beginning of the, like, down.
classic movie. By the way, I'm kind of liking this way of reacting to things. The big TV, I might long form react to the long form stuff, but my camera's about to die, so we're gonna keep doing this until
the end of a,
as soon as it cuts out, that means that's the end of this part, and part 3 gonna pick up on the next part.
the completed song, right? Like, can make that trajectory go wherever you want it to go, right? Both of us were kind of still focused on rap, right? But he was like, I think he would have rather put his time into the pen. But kept telling him, like, even years later, like, yo, man, I'm telling you, you'd be good at it. And he started doing this shit, and then I didn't hear from him.
Yeah, we all need friends like that.
And then he started, like, hitting me off with beats, and I was like, yo,